It's time for the third place game of the 2020 second annual Post-Ohio Districts Tournament, and it features our two club teams with the Indian Hill JV Rangers squaring off with the Cincinnati Lancers. The Rangers picked up 8.5 points. They went 2-1, fell to Beaver Creek, but combated nicely against Sycamore and Centerville by combining for a 5-2 Saturday, beating Sycamore 3-2 and beating Centerville 2-0. The Lancers on the other side, they fell just short to Alter 3-2 in their last game on Saturday and fell to Beaver Creek 4-1, but picked up a nice battle back with two late third period goals against Centerville for a 6-4 win. Lancers 1-2, they're in the black jerseys as the fourth place team heading down the ice. Rangers back in the home whites as Fritz Graham getting the start for the Rangers, opposed by Dade Wagle. Graham is the only goalie to have suffered a loss for the Rangers. He took on the Beaver Creek Beavers, and it was a 6-2 win favoring Beaver Creek. Rangers in the home whites, the old-fashioned Chicago Blackhawks look, very strong look. The number's a little bit lower on the jerseys compared to most hockey kits. 13:51 to go in the first period. Indian Hill and the Lancers are scoreless. Masturzo unable to tap it in past Dade Wagle again. Wagle, a former competitor of the Academy Hockey Club Fall League. Remember calling a few of those games where Wagle was in net for the Fall. Blocked up was Andrus. Fired on in by the Lancers. And we'll have another stoppage of play with 13:24 to go in the opening frame. Lancers and Rangers are scoreless in this battle of Cincinnati. The Lancers, formerly of LaSalle High School, as we spy Angus Ackerman back taking faceoffs for the Rangers. He was part of that front line of offense for Indian Hill against Centerville last night. So it means the twirling of Ackerman's coming back. That's blasted wide from Whitaker, who's had a very successful tournament, but can't tap it in that time. Slow to get up was Joshua Nixon. 13:05 to go in the first period. 0-0 your score. Ackerman on the chase as the Rangers roam upwards. Ackerman on the chase again as the Lancer defense came to back in. Dade Wagle watching. His goalie mask blending in with his jersey. It's the away kit for the Lancers, which Mark Rubik, the dad of Quinn Rubik, just mentioned to me. What's also interesting, when they joined up the Cincinnati Swords organization, the colors of the Swords are blue and yellow. As you can tell, that's not blue and yellow. It's black and red and white. Whitaker has it in front of Luke Moore. Fired on across. I count 5 Rangers on the bench. As now we have Brown, Bryce Brown, looking for Ackerman. Trying to speed ahead is Joshua Nixon. Nixon left wing with Ackerman. We'll have Moore come off for a new defender, and Owen Foster missed the first game against the Beavers. Played well in the 2 games against Sycamore and Centerville. By the way, the first result game went the Sycamore Aves way, 2-1 in favor of Sycamore. Charlie Halleck had the game-winning goal in the last few minutes. Delayed penalty, it will be on the Rangers as Indian Hill swoops in, trying to get the last touch. That's going to be handled by Nick Gates. And we have tripping the call against Indian Hill with 11:34 to go in the first. Joe Bortis, part of the Beaver Creek Beavers, he's getting ready for the championship game against Alter. He's watching from behind the glass as the Lancers have the first power play of the game. 11:34 to go in our opening frame. Didn't have a single ice cut in the first high school game. Went the entire 45 minutes without one. Masturzo will take the PK side. On the other side, that was alternate captain Marshall Merck. Off of Graham, and Merck unable to handle the rebound. Here's Merck again, backhander, score! Merck gets the trickle off Fritz Graham. 9 seconds into the power play, and the Lancers spear first. It's 1-0 Cincinnati. Marshall Merck was in front. Hampton gave him a shove as Merck was trying to get the rebound in front of Graham. Merck gets it, and he backpedals it off of Graham. It crosses the goal line, and it's 1-0 favoring the Lancers. The winner of this game is the third-place finisher in the pod. Whoever drops this game is the fourth-place finisher, but that's the end of the season. Whistle and offside against the Lancers as they're looking for more quickly against this Rangers squad. All tournament long, the roster on the pod programs you can get when you come out and watch games. Rangers have yet to have the entire roster available for head coach Trevor Block. And last year's Indian Hill squad, there's a lot of remnants of that team. That is Masturzo firing in, and Wagle traps it with the right leg. 11:02 to go in the first period. 1-0 Lancers. It's Marshall Merck, a power play goal, taking a whole whopping 9 seconds. Masturzo again. His defense is Seamus Donovan and Luke Moore. Moore ahead, right point. Won't get cleanly to Masturzo. Merck will try to backpedal it. Here come the Lancers. It's the captain and Weingartner, unable to connect it. Down this way, Manahan off balance on the blue line. Samarco trying to get it back for the Rangers as Indian Hill trails 1-0 to these Lancers. Down this way, it's Luke Moore with the defensive pickup. That's Turzo left wing time, pushing up ahead, getting chased by the stick of Adam Wiley. Down the left side, I believe that's Wiley again. Bumping the end boards as Manahan trying to shuffle it off. Rangers were trapping in their attacking zone. Masturzo with the reach, but couldn't keep it in front. We played nearly 5 minutes here as Indian Hill trails 1-0. The Lancers have the goal from Marshall Merck on the first power play of the game. Laid offside. Now icing called against Indian Hill, and back in front of Fritz Graham will go. 3 goalies used in this tournament. Fritz Graham's going to be the only one with 2 games started for Indian Hill. I do not see Nick Woods nor Zach Del Bello on the bench. Nick Woods had the 3-2 win against Sycamore. Zach Del Bello had the shutout win, 2-0 against Centerville. Fritz Graham had the tough task of the Beaver Creek Beavers in his face. That team is looking to win the championship after falling just short in last year's pod tournament. 9:44 to go in the first. 1-0 Rangers trailing. Lancers get it. Marshall Merck. Kept in by Cam Mitchell. Led towards the neutral zone. 2 Rangers hug on the chest of Whitaker. Controlled now by the Lancers. Looking for Cam Mitchell, kicked away by Bryce Brown. Bryce Brown, his shot blocked. Coming back with it, Cincinnati. Lancers lead 1-0. Marshall Merck, a power play goal. That took 9 seconds. Down this way, around the far corner, a one-on-one race. The Rangers on the defensive rescue. Holland battling Hampton. Hampton misses his check. To the left face-off circle, the arm goes up again. And we'll have a whistle. No one will touch it, but it's going to be 13. Ackerman to the Indian Hill box. Evan Whitaker to the Cincinnati box. I think those will be coincidentals, meaning we skate 5-on-5 some more. Off-ice official will tell the tale, what he needs to tell. Now talking to Evan Whitaker. Like I mentioned, very successful tournament for him. Great speedy player, very lethal up front. It's now on the blue line. Donovan and Moore are back on the defensive end. We'll skate some 5-on-5 hockey. How's that sound? 8:47 to go in the first. Lancers 1, Rangers 0. This is the JV Indian Hill Winter Club team. Again, not affiliated with Indian Hill High School. But this Indian Hill Winter Club can get players interested from Indian Hill High School if they so choose. Also Milford, as I rile all the Cincinnatians up here. You hear a lot of radio. You can't escape that car ad, and I can't think what the name is. It's not Kastruski. I don't think it is. Anyway, 1-0 Lancers your score, 8:13 to go in the first. Milford, Loveland, there is Graham sliding forward. A lot of local schools can be a part of the Rangers squad. It's more of the eastern Cincinnati area schools because the Swords call Sports Plus home, formerly a Hills department store in the days of yore. We'll have Samarco battling for this face-off, opposed by Marshall Merck, who's got the lone goal. And now speeding ahead with the defensive grab is Weingartner. Turnover, Andrus. Score, Andrus! Charlie Andrus ties it up with an even strength goal with 7:59 to go in the first. And the Lancers and Rangers tied up at 1. That ticked off Dade Wagold and going to the back of the net. As now Samarco will come in, take the face-off, center ice. Rangers just tie it up. Charlie Andrus, the Indian Hill goal. Kicked forward by Bryce Brown. He looks to add to that recent goal. 1-1 your score. Lancers and Rangers battling here to represent Cincinnati, Ohio, USA. Although technically Indian Hill is its own suburb type of thing. Here is Luke Moore, right point. 7.5 to go in the first. 1-1 is your score. Now the Lancers roll towards the right. Pass to reach of Seamus Donovan. Graham will stop it and trap it and pocket it with Eric Holland sliding nearby. Head coach of the Lancers is Murray Holland. He's in charge of this Lancers squad. He's done a nice job with this program. Took over when this Lancer squad was still LaSalle High School. He's got Jim Mitchell and Alex Ryan, former LaSalle Lancer, on this squad. Graduated last year for Coach Holland. I believe that's his younger brother, Austin Ryan, on the team. Behind the goal line, here's Hampton going for Nixon. Right wing time for Joshua Nixon, who I've been told also plays lacrosse and football for his school. He'll send it wide. A lot of these Rangers have good height on them. Both these teams can skate well. I think the Lancers pack a little bit more of a quickness compared to the Rangers, but that's not saying the Rangers are absolutely slow. Some of the Lancers just fly down the ice, like Whitaker, Mason Bosch, who's not here for this tournament, but he's very good as well. Foster drops back right point, 6:34 to play in the first, 1-1 your score. This is the third place game. If we have a tie game at the end of regulation, we go to a 3-on-3 5-minute overtime frame. And if we can't solve anything in those 5 minutes, here's Fritz Graham coming out of the crease to knock it away from Manahan. To Manahan, left face-off circle. Kick back left circle. Kick down low by Graham. That's Fritz Graham back at you. And Fritz with the lean and the catch on the attempt by Josh Rising. .609 to go in the first. 1-1 your score. Here comes Ackerman with the traditional twirl of the stick in the hands. He's got a white hockey stick too. Not just the head of the stick is white, but most of it's white and it kind of blends in with the ice. Don't really see a lot of white hockey sticks, and now Ackerman's tossed out. We'll have Samarco, who does not twirl the stick in his hands. I like that, twirl the stick. Everyone's got their own thing that makes them tick. That went wide by the Lancers, and no icing will be called. It's going to be a 1-on-1 battle with Weingartner getting away from Gates. 5:51 to go in the first, 1-on-1 race, and swooping in, the Rangers showing off they have some speed too. That's Luke Moore in front of Quinn Rubik. Drop back between the points, Ackerman going for it. He's now the center again. Like I mentioned, wasn't the center last night. He was on the line with Masturzo. It was the wing. Ackerman had both goals against Centerville. One even strength, one shorthanded. For the 2-0 win. Rangers have to go back. It was delayed offside. Samarco bangs it off the boards. Here's Ackerman rotating it in. Second to last hockey game here at South Metro until the next hockey season. Wide of Graham's reach. That was fired in by Brant Bojack. Might not be the tallest player out there, but he is quite quick as well. Offside went Indian Hill. We'll go back in the neutral zone for a drop. 5:05 to go in the first. Indian Hill 1, Cincinnati 1. I think it occurred to me last night on Indian Hill's last game, Saturday, that realizing the Lancers, they're part of the Sword, so it's two high school teams representing the two youth area teams. Of course, like I mentioned, the Rangers team is the JV squad. Not sure why that is compared to why the varsity team isn't battling. But there's a reason. There's always a reason for stuff. Here's Bryce Brown with a pickup. BB looks out, looking for Hampton. Now here come the Lancers. Rolling down to the right, Hampton tumbles. Foster closing in on a 2-on-1. Just wide the second. Rangers sliding in. That was Nixon. He crowbarred it away. The shot was not clean, but Fritz Graham, he makes the stop. Again, Graham, his second start for Indian Hill. Nick Woods and Zach Del Bello had the Saturday affairs. Graham had the Friday night game. 4:28 to go in the first. 1-1 is your score. Here's Cam Mitchell. Shot saved by Graham. Masturzo now taking flight on the left. Lost the handle, takes it to the bend. Sweeps it back out, but it's right to Weideker. And Weideker's now chugging ahead. Around Foster. Weideker had it chopped away from Foster. Weideker will pick it back up in the army of Rangers. Here's Holland swooping in the neutral zone. Under 4 to play in the first. 1-1 your score. Two very quality hockey teams battling here. All 6 teams are quality. A lot of fun seeing local hockey here at the Pod Tournament. It's also nice that it's here at South Metro. We're able to stream it live here on the YouTube home of South Metro. Out goes Masturzo. In is Ackerman. 3:29 to go in the first. 1-1 your score. Most of these Beavers watching. It's a Beaver with a Nashville Predators hat. Down this way, Marshall Merck sliding through. He collides into the back of Seamus Donovan. Down the right corner, Donovan comes up with it. Off the stick of Garibay, Case Garibay. And now Wardman in the red helmet fires it down low. Dade Wagle holds on and makes the stop with 3:02 to go in the first period. Indian Hill and the Lancers are tied at 1. The game representing Cincinnati. We'll have a game represent Dayton, Ohio next. It'll be the championship between Beaver Creek and Alter. Between those two teams, out of the 30 combined points, both of these teams combined for 29. Alter the only one to drop one. Here's Wagle on top of it. And by the way, that Alter team, they dropped their only point to this Lancer squad. As they went up 2-0 after one. Alter tied in the second, and one goal was enough to take most of the points. Alter won the cup last year. Luke Dinkins was, I believe, named the MVP. Yeah, most of the goals were the game-winning goal. Graham will slide towards the right and hold on to it with 2 Lancers approaching. Here's the third one sliding in, crashing right into Seamus Donovan. That was Kylie Bojack. And that front line will come on off, along with Ben Hermes. Ackerman for the face-off. Tipped towards the point and recovered by the Lancers. 2:40 to play. Wardman with the twist and the shout. But back to defender Kyle Weingartner, who dons the captain C for these Lancers. Now towards the left. Here's Wardman trying to get it back. Off the end boards for the Rangers. Settle up. Chipped towards the right by Donovan. Here's Moore. Manahan swoops in. Manahan looking for a clean shot. That's off of Moore. 2:09 to go in the first. 1-1 your score. Moore will flip it towards the corner. Now around the left side it goes. Down this way, we'll see the Lancers carry. Behind the back of Graham. Hampton working with Samarco. Manahan there. Turnaround job by Ryan Manahan to the point. Flung on in. Wiley in front. Tapped on home. I believe Wiley had it. And the Lancers are back on top by 1. Almost wondered if that was a combination of Wiley and the defender's stick, but it's pushed on in. Wiley gets it. And it's 2-1 for Cincinnati. 1-goal lead again for the Lancers. Face off center ice. I mentioned the first broadcast, but in this game there are no points awarded because it's the last game. Towards the right, it's Hampton. Fed ahead, Andrus. Tie it up for the Rangers. They're looking to do about the same again. Foster now, right wing. Andrus. Fired on in by Weingartner. 1:12 to go in the first. It's Samarco dropping it back, but Brant Bojack has it. There is Brant. Right wing, Foster in front. Skips it wide to the Zamboni corner. Now have Masturzo speeding ahead. Samarco trying to set it up. 55 seconds left in our opening frame. Very entertaining hockey thus far from two good teams. Foster around. Here's Skylar Adams. Push from behind, but still keeps it away from Andrus. Chipped in front. Samarco's going to go back for it. The Lancers will golf it towards the left with 33 seconds to go in the first. Up 2-1. Lancers looking for more to close out the first period. On the other side, here's Andrus. Darted towards the neutral zone. Picked up by Masturzo. 15 seconds left. Back to defender Owen Foster. Again, missing the first game, but has played very sharply on the blue line. He's partnered with Hampton. Lancers slice it up ahead. 3 seconds left in the first. 2-1 your score at the end of 15 minutes. That's the end of the first period. The Lancers get 2 one-goal leads. And we'll swap sides here in the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. 2-1 Lancers. Face-off center ice is Wagle now in the net in front of us here in the second-story lobby of South Metro. This is Lee W. Mowen with you here this afternoon. Shot down low. It's Fritz Graham diving for it and lunging on top of it for the stop. 11 seconds into the second period. Dave Wagle's goalie mask has that little shield on the bottom with the LS logo. That'd be LaSalle. Like I mentioned, this is the former LaSalle High School team. Fired on in towards Graham. Another cover-up. That's Holland that time. We have played 16 seconds, and the Lancers already have 2 shots on Fritz Graham. It's Fritz's show today, as I do not see Nick Woods nor Zach Del Bello on the Rangers bench. The Rangers have had 1 goalie per game, meaning there was no backup for Woods or Del Bello. But those two goalies handled the contest quite well. We have Cam Mitchell attacking to the left. The Lancers now roaming upwards. The Rangers jeeping downwards. Here's Nixon. Holland. Across the left corner, we have swooping in. Looks like that's Seamus Donovan. Down this way. Here comes Ackerman with the fire. Punched off the right arm of Dave Wagle off the end of the net. Ackerman battling. Here's Nixon trying to tip it in. Ackerman battling Holland towards the slot. Garabay's there. That's blocked by the Lancers out in front. And it's a defensive grab by Garabay. Slow to get up was Joshua Nixon. Back up goes the hockey player. 13:33 to go in the second. 2-1. Lancers on top of the Rangers. Again, winner takes third, loser takes fourth. And there are no points in this contest. If there were, the Lancers would get the first period point, but what do you need the points for if this is the last game of the tournament? The answer may shock you. Here's a blast. Weideker can't score. Fritz Graham with a nice, easy save down low. Up ahead now, here's Hampton. Make that Masturzo. Masturzo battling, and the third Lancer there will speed ahead, and Evan Weideker. Weideker caning away from Moore. Weideker open ice, and save with the right leg of Graham. Lancers in the traveling black jerseys. Rangers in the home whites. 12:44 to go in the second. 2-1 your score, favoring the Cincinnati Lancers. That's Terzo again, looking towards the right. Shot punched away by Wagle, splitting the defensive pairing. And it's handled by Wagle. It splits Weingartner and Weideker. Actually, that was Kylie Bojack, excuse me. As we have a new line, D'Alessandro, Kylie Bojack will go off. Merck will stay out there. Not anymore. Skylar Adams will take his place. Brant Bojack now out there. 12:25 to play in the second. And a face-off curving towards the Rangers and Nick Gates. Rangers picked up 3.5 more points than the Lancers did. And their battles throughout Friday and Saturday at the pod. We have Skylar Adams away from Gates. Rubik will drop it back for Brant Bojack. And Brant is offside. So we'll go in the neutral zone. About 3 minutes ticked off the clock in the second period. And the Rangers swap out their line. We have Ackerman leading Andrus and Samarco. And there's the twirl from Ackerman. Very impressive. That's kind of neat. Remember, sticks aren't round. Or spherical, I guess that'd be the right term. They're not round, it's more of a rectangle shape, and Ackerman spinning around like that. That's pretty cool. We have a whistle, and off the protective net, we'll keep it in front of Fritz Graham. 11:49 to go in the second. 2-1. Lancers your score. Skylar Adams taking it for the Lancers. Dial back towards the right as Weingartner giving chase, but Samarco flies in. James Samarco. Flipping it up top, past the neutral zone, and the arm goes up, and the whistle goes, and the other arm goes up. That's icing. That'll be against Indian Hill with 11:35 to go in the second. Ackerman again for the faceoff. You hear more about traditions and superstitions in baseball, of course, but like I said, different strokes for different folks. Skylar Adams looks back and takes it against Ackerman. From the left boards, the Lancers keep it in their attacking zone. Here's Fritz Graham, great stretch. Couldn't hold on to the rebound, however. Weingartner sent it on target. One-on-one is Ackerman around Weingartner, and Ackerman tangled up. Some of the fans asking for a penalty there, but behind the goal line, here's Skylar Adams chasing. Josh Rising back there now. 11:10 to go in the second. 2-1 Lancers over the Rangers. Skylar Adams off the boards. Out of the grasp of Rubik on the left wing. Rising now. Twist off the glass. And Back at the defensive zone as Owen Foster looks for Ackerman. It slips away, but icing won't be called from either referee. Now here's Rising going towards Brant Bojack. It's tangled up. Brant Bojack trying to get the stick in there. It comes out, and Bryce Brown can't send it on target. Change of the line. We no longer see Ackerman. Actually, the Ackerman's right there. Bryce Brown's the new change. There was 2 coming off for the Rangers, not 1. I beg your pardon. 10:20 to go in the second. 2-1 Lancers your score here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. 1.5 games left. And yours truly hangs up the headset until summer for collegiate baseball. Well, summer collegiate baseball, I beg your pardon. In case you're wondering what that is, it's college kids swinging wooden bats. In college baseball, you have aluminum bats. Bryce Brown tried to keep it away from Wiley, who's got the go-ahead goal. 2 Rangers have to go back for the puck as Masturzo back out there, flinging it wide of Wagle. Garibay trying to battle Samarco with Manahan trying to help. Right point feed in by Indian Hill. Rangers trail 2-1, 9:34 to go in the second. A couple good strings of offense turned in as Garibay from Manahan, and it's picked off by Moore. That's Luke Moore. Back this way, we'll have Wiley. Drop back, pushed ahead towards the left corner. Garibay plays it. Big collision in the end boards. Lots of rattling going on. And lots of squeezing going on, trying to battle that loose puck. D'Alessandro trying to cane it closer, with Wiley helping. Manahan out there. Not only D'Alessandro helping out Kylie Bojack and Marshall Merck's line. 8:53 to play in the second. 2-1 Lancers over the Rangers here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. Again, feel free to chat with us. Free on the live chat feature on YouTube. Just need an account, I believe. Say where you're from, who you're rooting for, as long as you keep it clean. 2-1 Lancers. Rangers looking to tie it up for the second straight time. 8.5 to go in the second. Nice turnout of fans for this contest. D'Alessandro away from Masturzo. Arm goes up. And the arm will signal roughing called. And to the box will go Holland. It is roughing the call against the Lancers, Holland. And a face-off awaits us in front of Wagle. 8:20 to go in the second. Power play time for the Rangers from Indian Hill. Ackerman with the swirl. Looks like one of those Morley gig type of things. Fired on towards Wagle. Rebound tapped home. Power play goal. Ackerman. Power play goal for Ackerman takes a whopping 6 seconds. 8:14 to go in the second. Tie game at 2, and Wagle is being escorted off for Blake Mitchell. Blake Mitchell comes on nearly at the halfway point of this game for Wagle. Ackerman had the rebound and fires it on in. A power play goal. Ackerman and Andrus have scored, and we're tied again at 2. Ackerman looking for more for the first Ranger lead. Fed from the left point, fired on in, and Blake Mitchell records his first save with a standing chest level at the brand new Lancers logo. Is different from LaSalle's because LaSalle's is mainly just LaSalle, the word mark, where this one is a circle logo. The spear kind of helps bring a circular motion on it, and someone on a horse with said spear. Normally call those horsemen, but there you go. We have Whitaker denied by Fritz Graham, as Indian Hill has tied it up 2-2, 7:47 to go in the second. Blake Mitchell again has come in about 30 seconds ago. Now downwards, we'll have a feed off of Fritz Graham. Rebound swept away by the Indian Hill defense. Fired on back from the right point. Around the left corner, Rising dropping back. It's kicked on in Weingartner, but picked up by Ackerman. Working the left wing, Ackerman swung around. Andrus now up ahead towards the left circle, looking back for it. Circle around by Whitaker. Tipped ahead. Here's Hampton. Back to Ackerman. Off the Weingartner stick. And the Lancers taking it slow to the neutral zone. That is carried by Ben Hermes. We're halfway through this contest. Winner is the third place team. Loser is the fourth place team. And that's the end of the season for both these Cincinnati teams. Again, the Lancers part of the Swords and Indian Hill, calling the Eastern Cincinnati suburb home. Beautiful area, lots of trees. One of my favorite places to go around fall. I was very lucky to broadcast Loveland Tigers football during this season. Yes, the Tigers went 0-10, but every time we went to Loveland, man, you just felt like you're on top of this mountain, just see nothing but forest. It's weird because you're literally right by Mason Montgomery, which is one of the busiest stretches around Cincinnati. Here's Marshall Merck coming up with it. 6:12 to go in the second. 2-2 your score. Here come the mighty Rangers, curving towards the left, bumped and offside, Bryce Brown. We'll go back in the neutral zone as we'll see Donovan staying out there with Masturzo. 2-2 game, 6:04 to go as Blake Mitchell has entered the game in net. Has been in there for 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Flicked on in towards Bryce Brown. Here's Brant Bojack behind the back of Brant. Loose puck, Garibay forward for Nixon. We have Skylar Adams curving towards the left. 2 leads for these Lancers, 2 ties forced by the Rangers. No leads yet for Indian Hill. Lancers yet to trail. Holland now right point, gloved from top to bottom. The quick left-hand motion by Fritz Graham. Going back to an earlier point I made about Indian Hill's roster on the program, there's a lot of names I recognize from last year, but they haven't been on this team. Michael Moore, one of them. Paige Falter. She played quite well in last year's pod tournament. 5.5 to go in the second. 2-2 your score. Adam Takis is another name I remember. I guess that's only 3. I'm glad I mentioned that. But there's been a couple names that haven't been here all weekend that have contributed to last year's Indian Hill squad. I believe the Rangers finished 4th. I'm trying to remember if they finished 3rd or 4th in that pod tournament. It's been a little over a year ago. Lancer almost looked like he checked into the referee, not on purpose, of course. We don't condone official violence. Blake Mitchell trying to cover it up. Lancers on the defense. Fed up ahead to Rubik from Wiley. Quick arming down as Garibay. Up ahead for Rubik. Now for Brant Bojack. Right corner here, 4:24 to play in the second. 2-2 game off the side of the net of Fritz Graham. And now carried over by, that is going to be Gates. Takeaway, pushing down, here's Merck. Merck's got one of the 2 Lancer goals. A power play that took 9 seconds. Ackerman's goal took 5 seconds in that power play. Reaching down low and stopped by Fritz Graham. The closest Lancer there was Wiley, who gave the Lancers their second goal, and we have a brand new Ranger unit rolling out. And Owen Foster too. We see that is Ackerman, I think, going out there, or is that Samarco? That it was Ackerman for the face-off. 3:57 to go in the second. Wardman trying to keep it away from 2 Lancers. Finished by Weingartner, not to Graham. Wiley, that's absorbed into the crest of Indian Hill. Like I mentioned, the logo on the front of the jerseys. If you remember way back when the NHL had shields for their individual conferences, you know, your Wales, your Campbells. It's like that, except in red color, not orange. Because Indian Hill's colors are not orange. It's red and black, like these Lancers. 3:35 to go in the second. 2-2 your score. In the third place game, up next is the championship game. It'll be the battle of Kettering Ice Arena, Beaver Creek, and Alter. Beavers 15 points out of possible 15. Alter 14 points out of possible 15. The only loss of point was to these Lancers, who had a 2-0 lead after one against Sigurd Peterson and the Alter Knights. Here is an attempt by Ackerman. Chases away Adam Wiley. Stuck in the right corner. Wiley comes up with it. A feed up ahead and distributed to D'Alessandro from Manahan. D'Alessandro will take it to the right corner with 2:53 to play in the second. 2-2 your score. Here's Manahan backhand. Fritz Graham, loose puck, stripped away. Rising will come back for it. Rangers swap out a couple. Wardman literally dives into the bench on that change. Here's Weidecker. Rising one-timer. That's Siles high. Here comes Weingartner. One-timer. And swallowed up with a diving body of Fritz Graham. 2:24 to go in the second. For you college basketball fans, busy day in Cincinnati. Bearcats lost to Houston. That pretty much means the Houston Cougars have the AAC title. Xavier beat Georgetown, though. That's a quad one win. Meaning that's pretty good in terms of getting to the big dance. High flying stick. Big collision in that right corner. Moore trying to shoo it away, but here comes Weidecker speeding ahead. Moore right on his tail and stripping the puck away. Right corner action, that's Weidecker. Flipping on the other side. Zapped from the left corner. Back to the Lancer defensive duo. That's Holland. Straight ahead, right to Garibay. Crossing the blue line to Weidecker. Back to Moore. Almost stripped away by an incoming Austin Ryan. Bouncing puck away from Fritz Graham. 1:23 to go in the second. 2-2 your score. Right point, Garibay. Does not get to the goalie. It only gets to the stick of Masturzo. Both these teams, the full roster available. We have Garibay. Except for the point I made about Indian Hill. Both these teams fairly loaded with players available. We have 1 minute to go in the middle frame, and the arm goes up. It's going to be a power play for the Lancers. Rangers will have to play it in the far corner, and we have high sticking. High stick the call against Indian Hill, and the Lancers go back on a power play. Last time they did, well, Marshall Merck had a power play goal 9 seconds in. Guilty party will be, it's like a Seamus Donovan. Face off will be to the right, 53.2 seconds left. Merck drops back for D'Alessandro, and it's Weingartner unable to tap it home from the point. Rising's got it on the other side, 42 seconds left. 2-2 game. Tip towards the left, out of the grasp of Weidecker. The other side, I believe that's Merck, maybe D'Alessandro. Pushed up ahead, now Merck to D'Alessandro. And now to Weingartner. That's off the mob in front. The Rangers come up with it. Here comes Weingartner again. Blue line send, blocked by the Rangers and cleared away. Stopped at the South Metro logo by Rising. 4 seconds left. Lancers, 1:08 to go on the power play. And that's the end of the second period. 2-2 your score as we head to the third period here at South Metro on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. We'll take the break as both teams tied at 2. 2-2's your score. As we swap sides once more, it's Graham in front of us now in the second-story lobby of South Metro. Here's Hampton. There's still 53 seconds to work on the power play for the Lancers. Trying to space out the ice. Now going back for it, it's Moore. Around the glass, chopped at the point. Underneath Ackerman. No ice cuts in this contest. We'll have one after the game before Beaver Creek alter play. Ackerman trying to shoo it away. Here's Rising. Moore now golfs it up ahead. And Blake Mitchell will slide on out. From this point, it looks like Blake Mitchell has a very patriotic goalie mask. I know in the middle he's got his number on it, 31 of course. 10 seconds left. Now to Weingartner, who looks to reverse course. Now for the center. Rising comes off. We're back to full strength. Wardman will come out as the 5th Ranger as Indian Hill kills off the power play. 2-2 your score. Lancers never trailed. Rangers never led. But 2 ties turned in by Indian Hill. It's made a very competitive and very fun game. Hopefully to watch. It's been a lot of fun to call up here though. Whitaker battling with Hampton. The loose puck slips to Moore. Fires it in towards Masturzo. Wardman now pushing up ahead. Moore will speed ahead at the right point. Feed it in for Indian Hill. Goals in this game for the Lancers. Marshall Mark had the first goal. Power play goal taking 6 seconds. And Adam Wiley got the Lancers another lead. This time an even strength goal for Indian Hill. Angus Ackerman tied it up first with a power play goal of the Ranger zone. Actually, that is the second one to tie it up last. That's weird. Indian Hill scored 2 first goals in the game. No, Charlie Andrus tied it up. Then Ackerman tied it up second time with that power play, which took about 6 seconds. 12:42 to go in regulation. Rangers and Lancers tied at 2. Both teams representing Northern and Eastern Cincinnati. Belted towards Brant Bojack. Bojack feeds it in. Top shelf. Brant Bojack on the blue line. Top shelfer over Graham. And the Lancers back on top. It's 3-2 for Cincinnati. Three leads now for the Lancers. Indian Hill looking at another 1-goal deficit. That's Angus Ackerman for the face-off. Flip down low, the Lancers. It's Ackerman. Garibay sails it down in front of the loaded Lancer bench. So Marco now swinging towards the right. Bouncer up ahead, curving around the corner. Icing not called. 3 minutes gone from the third. 3-2 game. Lancers back on top of the Rangers. Down the corner, off of Graham. Donovan and Foster push it away. Garibay trying to win it back. Push forward here is Wiley trying to add on to this 1-goal lead. Chipped on towards Graham, bouncing off of D'Alessandro and Donovan. Now Samarco leading the left wing. Rangers swap out a defender. Hampton returns. Now we'll see Nixon and Bryce Brown as another stop made by Blake Mitchell. Came in after the second goal scored by the Rangers with 11:23 to go in the third. Wagle did a nice job in his time, but Mitchell takes over. Nearly played over half of the second period. And so far working on 4 minutes in this third. So about a little over 12 minutes. Fired on wide of Graham. Hammered by Whitaker, who picks up the loose puck. Open ice for the left point. Masturzo coming in. Back to Whitaker in the Zamboni door. Flip towards Graham. It's pocketed off the catch. 10:55 to go in the third. A 3-2 lead for Cincinnati. Again, the Rangers picked up 8.5 points, Lancers 5 points. Winner is third, loser is fourth. Masturzo opposite Whitaker that time. Hammered wide and heading towards Weingartner at the right point, off of the left leg of Graham. Sent towards the right by Austin Ryan. Behind the back of Whitaker as it's Luke Moore, trying to cane away from the underscore of the boards, the yellow side. Kind of looks like it's molding on the boards there. The yellow part would be the molding. It's fired on in towards Blake Mitchell. Kicked away, now straight ahead on that clear. And it's icing on the Lancers. Fritz Graham will help out the referees. Sent that puck right to one heading for the faceoff. Masturzo coming in for the Rangers. Bryce Brown on the left. And it's Nixon on the right. Defense is Donovan and Moore for the Rangers. Indian Hill trailing by 1, 3-2 with 10:15 to go in regulation. Moore pushing it up ahead. Turning around is Nixon, who's hammered on the blue line and covered by Blake Mitchell. And I think that's going to be roughing the call as Nixon really hit the ice hard. Box time for Weingartner. And the trainers will come on out with 10:09 to go in the third. 3-2 for the Lancers. And we'll take a quick timeout here on the YouTube home of South Metro. As you just saw in the video, Nixon did skate under his own power. And he draws a double minor power play for the Indian Hill. And of course how these work, if the Rangers do score in the first 2 minutes, that first penalty goes away, and then it's 2 minutes on a 5-on-4 left. If Indian Hill does not score in those first 2 minutes, but score in the second, it's just like a power play where it goes away. Nixon is sort of away from the bench. It's by the step where you get on off and drinking lots of water. Hopefully Nixon will be A-OK. Double minor time, and it's power play time for the Rangers, and starting off with a clear, racing downwards, that was Marshall Merck. Now controlled by the Lancers. Back to Merck on the PK. Flipped away from Luke Moore, played it a little too far from the boards. Merck and Moore battle, the battle of M&M. There's Samarco. Left wing time, 3:30 to go on the power play. Samarco takes it to the left face-off circle, 9:33 to go in the third. There's a big collision out there. And a whistle and a stoppage of play, and a shove, and a couple more shoves, and a couple sticks flying out there. Things getting heated And the ref struggling to get into that scrum to stop it. There's a second ref. Kind of feisty there. Mark standing nearby, right by the net. Officials doing all they can to break up that scrum. Clock stop, 9:29 to go in the third, 3:21 to go in the power play for Indian Hill as the Rangers trail the Cincinnati Lancers 3-2. And the ref will take one of the Lancers. And it looks like they're going to bypass the sin bin altogether and out of the rink. That is Eric Holland. He's escorted out by the refs. Into the locker room they go. So Holland's just been tossed out. Still a large circle around. $9:29 to go in the third. 3-2 for the Lancers. Two referees talk it over. Now Stripes will head to the off-ice box. Talk about what's going to happen here. Skating towards the bench is Samarco off the ice. Nixon is still being looked at. I believe it's the Premier Health trainers making sure Nixon doesn't have a concussion. He hit the ice hard on that hit, and that signaled the power play for Indian Hill. And then we just had a big collision and a big explosion behind the net of Blake Mitchell. Masturzo will have a chat with his fellow Ranger and Bryce Brown. At center and wingman talking. Blake Mitchell scores on his own goal. He's staying loose. Couple Rangers, couple Lancers talking with one of the officials. Another goal scored. Blake Mitchell staying warm. (3-2) for Cincinnati. We'll take a break as everything's sorted out here on the YouTube home of South Metro. coming off the timeout, and a major has been pinned on the Lancers, meaning the Rangers have 3:21 to work on a 5-on-3. Holland has been escorted out of the game, back into the locker room, and I think I saw Austin Ryan serving the 5 minutes. So it's 5-on-3 for the Rangers as they trail the Lancers 3-2 on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports, as we're about ready to drop the puck again. Andrus head back to the bench. Masturzo in for the Ranger face-off. Towards the left corner. Hampton, Masturzo, shuffle for Foster. Foster will fire it and blocked. One-timer, Hampton will slap it towards the right corner. They get 5-on-3 time for the Rangers for 3:04. And the Lancers have to kill this off without one of their defenders in Eric Holland. Blake Mitchell with the crossbar knockoff. And down this way, a shot off Graham. That's Whitaker getting his own puck back, but no one there for reinforcements. 2:43 to work on the 5-on-3. And the major has 4:10. Down low, that's stopped by Blake Mitchell. The third digit, or the second digit on the bottom right penalty clock scoreboard is burnt out. And it's hard to tell what number's what. Normally you can tell where it is, but it's kind of like half burnt out from the top. Now there's 4:09 to go on the major. Shot goes wide to Blake Mitchell. Blake Mitchell yet to allow a goal. Both of them were on Dade Wagle. Foster from the right point. Over for Hampton in the left face-off circle. To the corner for Bryce Brown. 3-2, Lancers your score. That sailed high from Hampton. 2:10 to work on the 5-on-3. By the way, that double minor, half of it is done right now. 2 minutes to work on the 5-on-3. 8:05 to go in the third. Rangers trailing 3-2 as things have gotten feisty and explosive out on the ice. That went high over Blake Mitchell. It's back for Owen Foster. The Lancers are kind of stretched out on a triangle. Rangers have to pull it back in the neutral zone to be set with 7:41 to go in the third. Here's Foster. That's caught in the glove of Blake Mitchell. We'll see the return of Seamus Donovan and also Luke Moore as the Rangers swap out their defensive pairing. Masturzo will stay out there as Ackerman will take a face-off. Now over for Andrus in the right corner. Andrus with 1 goal, Ackerman the second. 1:20 to work on the 5-on-3. Rangers have it at the crest. Now they're attacking zone. Masturzo fires it wide to Blake Mitchell. Excuse me. 7:14 to go in the third. 3-2 for the Lancers. Left corner time, and it's broken up by Cincinnati. Andrus, Moore crossing the blue. 53 seconds to work on the 5-on-3. Pass intercepted. Here come the Lancers. Moore speeding ahead. Shot save. Graham. Rebound rolling on its spine. Whitaker again. Seamus. Donovan to the right face-off circle. Off the knees of the Lancer in front. 6:43 to go in regulation. 3-2 for the Lancers. 30 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. And there's 2:09 to work on the major infraction against Eric Holland. Austin Ryan serving it. Cleared all the way back. Lancers are doing a great job on this PK with just 3 skaters compared to the Rangers' 5. Fired on in. Masturzo's shot is blocked by the defender. I believe that was Marshall Merck with the deflection. And another clear right to Merck. Merck in the neutral zone. Moore coming in. Merck shot save. Graham, and Merck knocks not only knocks the net off, but the pieces that keep the net on the ice off. I don't think I've ever seen that where someone crashes into the net. Normally those pieces stay with the net. Now the official has to plug it back in. Actually, he's letting Fritz Graham do half of it. And I think we had a timeout taken. With 1 second left in the 5-on-3. So we'll take it with the teams here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. 6:09 to play in the third, 3-2 for the Lancers. 1 second left in the 5-on-3. Still watching that scene where Mark just crashed into the net and the bearings underneath just fly off the ice. Again, never seen that happen before. Masturzo for the face-off. We're back to 5-on-4. The major has about 1:31 before it ends, I think. Now it's 1:30. 5:57 to go in the third. 3-2 Lancers. Rangers back in it. Now for an extra Lancer PKer. Rangers have never led in this game, but they have tied it twice. No longer with the 5-on-3. Here's Foster rainbowing it. Looking towards the Masturzo frame. Tall center along with Ackerman. Masturzo leaning ahead, going towards the left. For Foster now, 5.5 to go. Shot goes wide of Blake Mitchell. Blake Mitchell yet to allow a goal in his entrance. Played over half the second period. And playing the entire third. 44 seconds to go on the major. Lancers trying to clear it. Brent Bojak. Lancers get it back. Here's Merck. Forward flip. Rangers on top of it. Blue line send. Just out of the grasp of Bryce Brown. Drop back. Here's Hampton across the blue. Hampton to the right face-off circle. Chased by Brett Bojak. Saved by Blake Mitchell. Rebound comes loose. 4:40 to go in the third. Major almost running out. Down to the final 9 seconds. Foster dropping back. The Lancers trying to push. Merck. D'Alessandro turns it over. We're back to 5-on-5. That was Cam Mitchell actually serving that, not Austin Bryan. I beg your pardon. And skipping wide of the crease. 4:15 to go in the third. 3-2. The Lancers just killed off not only a double minor, but a major penalty to boot. Golden opportunity for the Rangers to score. Now they got to do it even strength, but there's a whistle, and we have ourselves cross-checking. So if you weren't finished with the skater advantage, it's going to be the Lancers to the box for cross-checking. There's the cross-check. And the Rangers will be back on the power play. And we're going back in front of Blake Mitchell. 4:03 to go in the third, 3-2. Lancers on top, but the Rangers get another extra skater advantage. And quickly cleared this way. Swooping in is Seamus Donovan, jamming up slightly. Here is a backhander. Manahan denied by Fritz. Manahan trying to swoop down low against Samarco. Rangers heading back this way. 3:43 to go in the third. 3-2 Lancers. 1:40 to go in this power play. It's cross-checking on the Lancers as the Rangers back on the extra skater advantage. Battling down low. Here is a clear by the Lancers. Caught with the hand of Seamus Donovan. Can't send a shot on goal. It's blocked. Blake Mitchell very quick in the crease. Rangers pick it up in the neutral zone, just out of the grab of Whitaker. Whitaker's had a couple of those on the PKs where he's speeding down and gets a couple good shots on Graham. Left point time, Seamus Donovan. 1:02 to go on the power play. Down low, here's a stretch by Blake Mitchell and a collapse on top of the puck. Stopping at 3:03 to go in the third, and halfway through this power play, a brand new PK unit out for the Lancers, a brand new power play cell for Indian Hill. Like I mentioned, the Lancers, part of the Cincinnati Swords organization, and I believe their home office is Sports Plus. They have a lot of their offices by the USA Canadian rink, whereas Indian Hill, they call the Indian Hill Winter Club home. Beautiful facility. Down low in front of Blake Mitchell. Looks like the net's off. We'll fix it again. Like I mentioned, Sports Plus, formerly a Hills department store. Lots of sports in there, not just hockey, although there's 2 sheets of ice. That always helps. I don't know why I never thought about this, but in Cincinnati, there's not a lot of sheets of ice, but there's about 3 in a span of a mile on 42 in Sharonville, Evendale. Here's Owen Foster sending it. That goes wide of Blake Mitchell. Bryce Brown from the left corner. Grant Bojack battling. Big boom in the corner. 30 seconds. Here's Foster. Right wing, 2.5 remains in regulation. Wide of Blake Mitchell. And sent back this way. Here come the Lancers. But blocked off the stick of Owen Foster. That's Rubik. Hampton straight ahead. Ackerman, the long pass receiver. Ackerman tangled up. There's a collision on the open ice. And we'll have a whistle as Blake Mitchell holds on. Rubik and Bryce Brown share a slap on the back. The two did not mean to collide, but sometimes in hockey that happens. It looks like both gentlemen will be okay. Head back to the benches. Weingartner set to jump out for his cross check in 4 seconds with 2:07 to go in the third. I think if the Rangers can't score on this power play, here's the last second shot going wide. I think if Indian Hill keeps the puck in their attacking zone, Fritz Graham might be pulled for the 6th Ranger. But we will see. Lancers have it 3-on-2, heading back this way, up 3-2. Here's a blast, and it's Whitaker denied by Graham. Great job standing his ground there by Graham. Back this way, shot off the belly of Foster. Behind the back of Cam Mitchell. Flung high towards the protective net, heading towards the corner. Icing will not be called. The Lancers defense have to go back and play it. Changing on the Rangers, Graham still in net. It's 5-on-5, 1:24 to go in the third. A big collision in the neutral zone. And Samarco trying to play it back. That goes behind the back of Moore. And a whistle as Indian Hill touches it. The Lancers might be going on the power play. It's Seamus Donovan to the box for elbowing. Power play time for the Lancers with 1:15 to go in the third. All these fireworks in this game, what's going to happen in Beaver Creek Altar? The answer is, I don't know. That's why you joined me for that broadcast. It's supposed to start at 5:30. Actually 5 o'clock, I beg your pardon. This game was 3:30. There's a 30 in there, I just know that. Off the back of D'Alessandro, Lancers have a power play, but here comes Hampton, 1:10 to go. Graham is still in the net, and we'll have offside the call on the Rangers. Maybe getting close to crunch time, we might see Graham pulled off to make it 5-on-5 with the empty net, but still a power play for the Lancers. Masturzo in for the face-off. Flip forward across the blue line. Here comes Ackerman speeding ahead towards the slot, lost the handle. However, we enter our last minute, and the arm goes up again, fired in by Moore, and the penalty is what? Cross-checking. It's by the team that's making all the noise. It's going to be on the Lancers, and it looks like D'Alessandro a little angry, and he's being escorted away from the penalty box. He's being escorted off the ice, Ross D'Alessandro. That will effectively kill off the power play. We'll skate 4-on-4. Graham is still out there, meaning it will be 4-on-4, as D'Alessandro has been told to go to the locker rooms. Cross check, and the ref continues to talk. So the initial call was cross check, but there was something that happened there. D'Alessandro didn't go right to the penalty box. He was escorted off the ice. That's a double minor on the Lancers, meaning if Indian Hill can tie it up on 4-on-4, I think we'll have 4-on-4 to start OT, because power plays don't work where you go 3-on-2. I mean, come on. Who can defend PKs on 3-on-2? Flipped high by Hampton and off the Indian Hill bench. Go back in the neutral zone for a drop with 45.4 seconds to go in the third. Masturzo leaning in. Lancers up 3-2. 4-on-4. Graham sliding back in the crease. Masturzo lost the handle. Trying to keep it in was Foster. Under 30 seconds left. Long feed, that's going to be icing because it's 4-on-4, the same amount of skaters for each team, therefore there's no such thing as clearing. And we'll drop it in front of Blake Mitchell with 23.5 seconds left in regulation. A little surprised that Graham is still out there. I mean, the Lancers have speedy skaters. Now Graham will come off for a fifth Ranger. It's going to be Masturzo again. 16 seconds left. Empty net, Indian Hill. Down this way, Rangers send it for Bryce Brown. Turn around, 10 seconds left. Weideker, Garibay on the defense. 5 seconds left. Flung towards the left. Curving towards the corner. That's the game. The Cincinnati Lancers are your third place team in the pod tournament. They defeat Indian Hill 3-2 on a third period that was full of fireworks here. Lancers win it by 1. And now we'll determine who wins the championship. Will it be the Beaver Creek Beavers or the Alter Knights? That's for you to watch here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports coming up in a few minutes. This is Lee W. Mound signing off as it's the Lancers, your third place team, defeating Indian Hill 3-2 in the Battle of Cincinnati.